So Fan Zhendong up against Tan. Reminder that Fang started with a win against Tiago Apolonio of Portugal, won that 3-1, and then beat Masataka Morizono in straight games.
Yeah, both of the Portuguese men up against world number 1 and world number 2 were quite impressive. Apollonia against Fan Zhendong, Marcos Freitas against Ma Long.
As for An, he's had a pretty tough time. Beat the qualifier Walter Ricardo of Germany 3-2, or 3-1 rather. And then Chong Chi-Yuan of Chinese Taipei 3-2. So he's had a tricky time coming in.
Yeah, Zhuang Zhiyuan has been very strong recently, a player who's been a thorn in Harimoto's side for some time.
Was he always up against it when he was under the table? That was tough for him, wasn't it?
It's very tough to do much from there. It's funny, Tiago Apollonia has an outstanding snake from there. That's a good opportunity for a snake. But here, just floats it. Placement not bad, but yeah, as you mentioned, it's tough to be threatening from there.
Lovely on the backhand from An.
But it still feels like the prepared player, whoever's better prepared here, is going to have a big advantage. And obviously, as you would imagine, Fan Zhendong is just, I mean, that's what makes him so good, right? He's prepared for almost anything.
Well, good points there from Fan Zhendong. He's already 4 points clear of his opponent.
I just looked at the other half of the draw. The winner here is playing the winner. Nice point here.
Yeah.
The winner of Shushin and Patrick Franziska.
Ooh.
That match will be on table 1, no questions about it. I looked at it and I'm like, oh, that's tomorrow. Okay, I'm like, they better not have put it on table 2, 3, or 4. Good empty push here. Fan Zhendong fast and deep to the backhand, and it looks heavy, which is why An Jae-hyun leans back. All right, on TV.
Fans.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of Fan Zhendong fans around the world.
He'll be happy with that, An.
4-7.
I think that's the whitest shirt that I've seen at a professional level. Normally, you're not allowed to wear a shirt that's close to white. Something a little bit more folk or Tori Amos. I don't know. What do you have?
Well, he started that well, didn't he, An?
I mean, he was not set up for that serve receive, and still, he came out with a down-the-line shot to send An Jae-hyun away.
So something to just bring to your attention, because yesterday it was a talking point for us, was the strapping around Fan Zhendong's thigh, which is now gone. So he's clearly, whatever was ailing him, probably not an issue anymore. Or maybe it's to stop us from talking about it.
When you said that, I was surprised to see he didn't have the strap on anymore. Oh, beautiful forehand flick on one foot. Just gets up for that one and puts it away.
So let's see if An can improve on that first game.
So far, so good. High toss pendulum serve in near the body, steps around. I don't know what percentage of the time that'll win the point. But this time, change of placement. Yep, a little bit more to the backhand inside the table. Fan Zhendong doesn't move in as quickly. Well played on the serve.
Just clipping the net along the way.
You know, even though he doesn't win this point, for me, he played it right. He had Fan Zhendong in a passive position, backing off the table, guessing on the early shots. Good touch play at the table.
But we're saying that a lot, aren't we, Adam, about the lower ranked players. The idea is right. The execution doesn't quite come off for them.
Well, it's tough to fully be prepared to play world #1 or to play out of your comfort zone, right? That takes a long time.
What you've enjoyed is that they are really having to play. They are having to play out of that comfort zone. They're not just sitting back and doing what they know best. They're pushing themselves to have to do that.
I realized I said something that sounded like nonsense, so I want to clarify. It becomes your comfort zone if it's normal.
Yeah.
So playing out of your comfort zone naturally is uncomfortable, and it's something that's difficult to do. To his first attack, these are all very crucial factors to keep in mind, and he's doing that.
Well, the net playing a big part in that.
There was a lot of touch going on here, a lot of control, little side spins, soft shot there. Net, as you mentioned, and then the touch play comes back out. Both players with a bit of chop and push. Fan Zhendong replaying it in his head.
Pulls one back here. Not often you see him 5 points trailing.
You know, it's funny. It's tough to be a table tennis fan and not be a Fan Zhendong fan. But you watch this and you're aware that even down 1-6, you wouldn't put your money on the player with 6. And that's true of about everyone in the world with the exception of like 2 or 3 players.
Yeah.
What about 2-7 down?
Hypothetically, in some alternate universe, yeah. I mean, still. 50-50 at best.
Wow. Okay, that's one down.
3-7.
It's all relative, but yeah, you might be surprised.
All right, moving
3-8.
to 8 now.
Yeah, he seems very focused on making the opening attacks count, though. I mean, he's taking his chances, figures if I miss, okay. Still have to take the shots.
Oh, he really went after that, didn't he?
Not an easy ball to play.
Nicely done from An.
And I can't know for sure, but I would say better than 50% now for An Jae-hyun.
Incredible, you're saying that with the score
Right.
on 9. Now, game points. He's got 6 of them. Well, we're about 20% now?
For Fan Zhendong,
Yeah.
probably in that range, 20 to 30.
Wow.
Oh, man. When you say stuff like that, you just watch with your fingers crossed. And I don't like making predictions for this reason. Still 5 game points for An Jae-hyun. Good touch shot here, dropping it short.
It's down to 4.
You should see the commentator's booth right now. Shahzad. Oh, man.
And, you know, seriously, when you went 30%, I was like, no way. That's just gone up now, hasn't it?
We'll see, we'll see. Ah!
He has done it. An Jae-hyun has taken this second game, 11-6. Nice exchange of shots there. Fan comes out on top.
I like this rally a lot. There was an edge ball here off the edge of the racket from Fan Zhendong. An Jae-hyun recovers. Good cover of the middle from Fan Zhendong. And they're trying to keep it baseline, but An Jae-hyun confidently going in for the forehand battle.
Love 2.
Better short play here. Fan Zhendong taking advantage of An Jae-hyun a step behind the table. He's controlling in the short game.
He's raced to a 3-love lead. Fang Zhendong.
Love 3.
And the idea was right. He saw Fang Zhendong way behind the table. Once the rally had opened up, the ball was a little lower. He thought he could spin it softly. Had this come down on the other side, it would have been awkward and uncomfortable. What a cover from the middle. Fang Zhendong like Gumby with the upper body. Sandbags in the feet, pops right back up.
Well, he's finally broken that run of points. And
4-1.
All 1-4. And all 4-1.
Listen to that gasp from my co-commentator. Another booming rally. Fang Zhendong comes out on top.
2-5.
Again, behind the table, not afraid to bring that backhand in. Over the table, you could see his back, how arched it was. It's a bit of unusual positioning here from Fang Zhendong, but comfortable for him nonetheless. Nice fast long serve to cause a bit of trouble on the quick receive.
5-3.
Just looked up there, didn't he, very quickly?
Solar panel coach. No, I think checking the lights maybe.
So just remember, Fan was 4-love up at the start of this game. There's only 1 point between them now. Good comeback here. He's won 4 of the last 5 points.
The water, it's probably sweat that dripped from his face. So he was taking care of the issue. It just looked funny.
Nothing funny about it right now because An has drawn level.
5-0.
He's won 5 of the last 6 points.
That just felt like, Mom, can I go into the store and buy some broccoli? And then the first thing you do is bite into a giant cookie. She's like, what about the broccoli? You're like, oh yeah, I got it. Just gonna eat the cookie first.
And he's now in front. This is excellent work from An. 6 of 7 points. Reminder again, Fang Zhendong led 4-love at the start of this game.
Ooh.
Did he just lose his footing there?
He did completely. He'll find it before the next point, but there's just no consistency in the rules. I mean, how am I supposed to know what to say when?
Six out of 8 points.
We talked about it earlier, the fact that An Jae-hyun is capable of pulling off massive upsets. You know, there are players that are streaky, they're dangerous, and they're not consistent. And that makes it very exciting to watch. If you already know the outcome, it's not as exciting.
He has really done superbly to turn this around. An Jae-hyun.
Good touch there, that shot. Looked like he was going to come in for the Chiquita and then turn to a push. Not easy to do that and keep it out of an attackable place. Now, let's just review what we just saw. Not for the first time this game, An Jae-hyun just went backhand to backhand with Fang Zhendong in an exchange, a counter loop exchange on the backhand with world number 1, the best backhand in the world, and won. Several times now this game.
Well, he was absolutely desperate to make that run of points, wasn't he, Fan?
7-9.
Clever idea. Drops it inside the table. If he goes to the short side, which it looked like he was aiming for, maybe body or backhand, if that ball comes down, Fan Zhendong is going to be in trouble. I think tactically, again, An Jae-hyun's taking his chances, putting his chips on the right squares.
10 out of the last 13 points have gone
7-10.
to An Jae-hyun.
This one sits up a bit high, and Fan Zhendong makes it look easy with the backhand. But again, a high backhand is a very uncomfortable ball. Most people will try to run around that. Fan Zhendong really getting that elbow up high and keeping the wrist bent back to stay on top.
Two game points saved by Fan.
10-9.
Timeout called. I was wondering if we were going to see it. I think everyone on court, Fan Zhendong turned around. I mean, game point on Jae-hyun, third time around.
He's drawn level, and that's probably the biggest shot of the night.
10-0.
Well, no doubt about who the crowd's supporting here. As if to underline what I just said, the Jiayo's reverberating around this infinity arena.
I felt like as we looked at the back of the shoes of An Jae-hyun and that the life had been taken out of him by that shot. Ooh.
Well, but he will take that.
And the life is back in through the heels,
10.
right into the shoes. I mean, this feels like a second chance, even though it's, what, a fourth chance?
Yep, will be his fourth game point. This is to go 2-1 up against Fan Zhendong. Doesn't take it.
11-0.
For most players, in theory, if they were told you just have to win 1 point against Fan Zhendong, this is more what you'd imagine. Something like this. But it doesn't look like a player who won, I think you said 10 out of the last 13 points at one point.
Yep, correct. So this is the 5th time coming up now that he's on game point. Is this
12-11.
Is this a thing about experience, about pedigree, being in this kind of position against a player like Fan Zhendong?
Yes, yes it is. I don't know exactly what the coach would say. It might be something specific because I believe he's got the serve back now. But it might just be calm yourself down, breathe.
Let
5th time of asking.
11.
An Jae-hyun. He's done it. An Jae-hyun
13-11.
is 2-1 up.
Game 2.
Then what we just saw, An Jae-hyun took away Fan Zhendong's comfort in his game. And a big part of that for me is rhythm.
Love 1.
The quality of shots, the difference in placement. I mean, within the Chinese Super League, the top 5 to 10 players can run around the court counter looping like crazy. But they know that.
Yeah, that was always, he was always up against it, wasn't it, on that one, An Jae-hyun?
2 love.
That was a pretty big, yes, he was chasing the whole point, but that was a pretty big factor there, having to come in so much after that net ball.
So, a similar sort of start
3 love.
to this 4th game as the previous one for Fan.
Can't remember the last time I saw An Jae-hyun chopping. I mean, almost never a player with 2 attacking rubbers, 2 inverted rubbers, chops. Huh. A second time. I mean, this is a more passive backhand. It looked like a 2-handed backhand from Hugo Calderano, except less aggressive. It was just sort of putting it back into play.
So like that previous game, Fan Zhendong goes 4 up. This is where the fight back began in the last game. And this is where it might begin again for An.
That was a nice jumping backhand cover down the line. An uncomfortable position to be in. Look at this. That 1 foot. And still he gets that big shot into play. Some people play well angry. Most people, not exactly.
I love that previous backhand from An, but he is 1-6 down. 5-point lead here.
Yeah, I think to depend on making 2 of this shot in a row, I mean, that's a beautiful shot, but very few can do it a few times in a row. Fan Zhendong, one of the few.
It's not going his way in this game, and he's back with a vengeance here, Fan Zhendong.
This is good of An Jae-hyun to stay near the table and get in early. Fan Zhendong had been controlling the space near the table, not allowing An Jae-hyun to stay in. He's put the pressure on well by varying up his receives. A few points now that An Jae-hyun has won with straight up heavy underspin serves, from pendulum serves to straight underspin. Smart placement here from Fan Zhendong. 2 into the backhand as An Jae-hyun started to move the other way. Hitting it behind the body weight. He knew he had moved a little to the backhand, so as he moves to cover the open forehand, he's got momentum moving the other way.
He will very gladly take that one, An. Took a long, hard look at his opponent there, An. Just 2 away from making this 2-all. This is more like what we saw in the first game. Fan Zhendong in control here.
Well, now a chop. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I was just about to say, he's done that. He's attempted it a few times. This time it actually worked out for him.
Yeah, I think a big part of that is it's such an unusual shot. He's not a chopper. How much spin is actually on it? 2 in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, starting that point like a straight up chopper in this major tournament to the quarterfinals. Excuse me, major event. Tournaments were before. WTT has events.
Spot on.
Love 2.
So, for 3 games in a row, Fan Zhendong has started very well indeed.
Love 3.
He's carried that momentum from the previous game into this one.
Now, if he had a timeout right now, An Jae-hyun would use it. This is one of the most common scores in the decider. You're down 0-3. And the serve. He's just not finding ways to get a third ball that he can do much with. This is why it's so important to have a good receive. See, Fan Zhendong has the threat of an incredibly aggressive receive. And if he doesn't show what he's going to do, An Jae-hyun can't make his move to be in position for when he drops it short. It's like the beware of dog sign that you keep, even if you don't have a dog on the other side of the gate, it makes people, yes, it makes people hesitate. The threat is real for Fan Zhendong's backhand receive, but it is a big sign. And whether he's going to bring it out or not, whether the dog's home or not,
You're thinking about it.
Yes, exactly.
3rd game in a row where he had a 4-love lead, Fan Zhendong. Crowd now probably feeling a little bit more relaxed, the supporters there of Fan Zhendong.
And they will switch sides here as one player has 5 points in the decider to make sure that they've spent an equal amount of time on each side of the table to reduce any advantage to starting on one side.
He's just in the zone now, isn't he, Fan Zhendong? And seemingly lost his way.
That was surprise factor 10 out of 10. Fan Zhendong had just set up a rally. Look at this. I mean, he was turning the wrong way. He was running. And in that split second, he could decide to play a backhand counter loop down the line. Look how little time there was there.
6 points gap between the two in this fifth and final game.
Stop.
Some good pace on that backhand.
Yep, so he's just about
7-2.
eventually working that run of points. If there is a fight back, it has to happen now for An.
It's amazing how much power a human being can generate in such a short racket stroke in terms of that backswing on the backhand.
2 in a row, that's better from An.
And a timeout here from Fan Zhendong as Fan Zhendong cleans off the rubber to make sure he's got full traction and gets ready for these two serves to come.
3 in a row.
Yeah, a bit of surprise of his own here. An Jae-hyun going down the line. Just a moment's notice. How much time to react? Pendulum serve, touch shot, nope. Heavy spin to the middle. And right off the bounce, that backhand is so low and so fast.
This is good stuff from An.
From an entertainment standpoint, we're definitely getting our money's worth. The timeout hasn't stopped the bleed at all. An Jae-hyun has found some confidence out here, some fearlessness, and he's finding new places, 4 points in a row. I think.
This is excellent. Just 1 point between them now.
I don't know what's going to happen, and it's not a question of rooting for either player, but I like being here right now and watching this.
He breaks that run. He looks frustrated, An.
6-8.
He was in a really good position.
This is what we want to see. We want to see the best players in the world challenged. We want to see them in tough positions and how they rise above. He's taking the right shots here. I mean, An Jae-hyun sees the opportunity. He's made, but after 4 in a row, about 3 of which involve some heavy hitting backhands. I think the timing's right, but human moment.
Seemed to be in 2 minds on that one, Fan Zhendong.
9-7.
Match points now for Fan.
10-7.
It's getting very nervy in this stadium right now. The Infinity Arena with nerve endings exposed.
And he's done it. Zhendong wins for Fan. He beats An Jae-hyun 3-2.
Fan 1.